Hey y'all, welcome back to It's Not That Serious podcast. I'm Elodie.
I'm Malia.
And this is episode 6, baby.
And it's different. We're in my room. How does it feel to be in my room, sis?
I love this. I told you I had a vision here.
Yeah.
We're so
You've
comfy,
been saying
cozy.
that.
Yeah.
It does feel a lot more cozy and comfy and like safe.
And we're doing a morning podcast. This is a first for us.
Oh my God, yes. We always do afternoon podcasts. So I feel like the energy's different. It's just, you know, I'm a little congested. I'm a little sick, y'all.
It's that weather.
It's like a little virus going around.
Yeah, it's that time of the year.
Yeah, I'm never sick, but I'm drinking tea. But we're so excited. This is episode 6, and I feel like we have so much to talk about. This one's going to be a little different. It's going to be more about investments with life, career, who you surround yourself. So, yeah, we went to an event yesterday at Soho.
Yeah. We went to an event yesterday, and it was pretty amazing because, as you know, Soho, Chicago is full of creatives. Everyone does something in the creative field. So one of our mutual friends was like, you guys should come to this. This would benefit your podcast. And sure enough, like, I feel like it lit a fire in us. Like,
yeah.
To be around other people that see the same goal, see the same vision, and are like already doing the shit.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, starting a podcast, you have to be like super consistent, obviously, but then you have to know what to talk about. You don't want to be very repetitive in like each episode. So we literally were like, sis, we have to sit down and talk about it. And then I'm like thinking, yo, we should talk about investments, like with anything, with women, how to invest in yourself, you know? I feel like I grew up with, 3 sisters. My mom is like, she's a very stern mom. She's always been on us. So like,
sis, can you hear yourself? I can't hear you.
Hello?
I can't hear you.
Really?
Mm-mm.
I can hear you. It did sound a little different.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh,
so much better.
Wait, is it recording?
I hope so.
Click that arrow, babe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, shit don't be perfect around here. But so like I said before, it's just growing up with so many women, I kind of know how to invest in myself because of my mom and watch my sisters. So I think this is a perfect topic for us both too.
Yeah.
And you always kind of been like high standards with yourself, so I think that's really good. What do you think? What is like the first thing that you could invest in with work?
Ooh, so well, when you told me about investments, I think we started off thinking like monetarily, like how we really have invested in each of our own businesses because you're a pro makeup artist, I'm a realtor, and then we have a podcast together.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I thought of. But then we dove deep a little more, and we were like, well, everything's an investment. Like,
me moving to Chicago was a huge investment for me.
To you, to your business, to your mental health, to your well-being, and which we should get more into that because that's a huge thing that you did. But I think like everything around you is your investment. The way you look, the way you dress, the way you feel, your friends, your environment, what you read, what you listen to, So, I would say for work, my biggest investment so far has just been to put money back into my own business. And I'm not making much right now. Like I'm making, decent amount to get by, but I know that I'm starting off in my career, and typically with real estate, it's longevity. Yeah. So you have to think about the long term,
Sometimes I feel like you have to sacrifice sometimes though too,
And that's what people don't realize about investing is that it comes with sacrifice. You can't invest into something without giving something up.
Exactly. And even when people are like, how do you do it? Like, I just don't give up. You have to invest. Sometimes as an entrepreneur, I hate to say, but you have to take risks. Sometimes you have to like put all your coins in one basket and just be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But you learn from that, especially with inventory. I have a cosmetic brand and, with dealing with my inventory, I'm not going to lie, during COVID, you guys, I was going broke. Like I literally had probably like $500 to my name and I didn't have makeup. I wasn't working in the club. So I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? Yeah. One of my good friends was like, girl, you should do a cosmetic brand. You're a makeup girl, sell lashes. So like, I really didn't know how to go about that. I went on Alibaba. First of all, you have to get an EIN, get an LLC. You have to do all that before you start a business. Yep. But yeah, so I started all that. And then I didn't know how much inventory to get, So I started off with like, probably like 300 lashes. And my first time I ever went air with
launched.
Yeah. Brain a little foggy.
It's okay. You're sticky poo.
I launched. I literally sold out the first time I did it. But thank God. But if I didn't, I would just be left with inventory. And there's still some inventory that I still don't sell, but sometimes you have to take a loss like that to learn. Yep. So like next time, if I'm going to come out with something new, I'll just probably invest in like 50 lip glosses and not too much, you know. You just have to start little. So, you know, it's all about sacrificing and just, you know, trusting your gut and trusting yourself.
I remember when you first launched, actually, Amore Cosmetics, by the way, shop. I have your lip gloss on.
Yeah, period.
I remember when you first launched, and it was like iconic.
I know, right?
Everyone.
Oh my God, Dustis, you were in it.
Oh my God, I was.
Literally, you were in it.
We're going to show you guys some pictures.
And it's so crazy. You guys, when I first was starting that, I was in my room and I'm like, I had a vision. I'm looking and I had a little plant and I'm like, I'm looking at the plant and I'm like, yo, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make you guys put you guys into the backdrop and then put leaves in front of your guys' face. Like make it really tropical. Oh, we have to put that clip in.
I'm showing them because
that was so iconic.
It was tea.
I still have some more cosmetics. I haven't focused on it too much this year, but I have something coming up pretty soon, so I'm pretty excited about that. But you know, just with life, even with yourself, hygiene, ladies. You know, like always invest in your hygiene. Like take care of yourself. Take vitamins. Drink water. You know, like. I feel like people don't talk about this enough. Like there's this thing called boric acid. You know, especially if you're having sex. Like
yeast infections.
Yes, UTIs, you know, don't let everybody shoot the club up because that's how you get, you know, like people start smelling down there. Like it's a real thing. And I don't think people know, like I don't feel like a lot of women have knowledge about that because maybe their mom didn't teach them.
I was going to tell you, honestly, like since we became friends, like, yes, I was always like a girly girl. Like, I love makeup. I love shit like that. But, like, I didn't know how much it took to, like, really take care of yourself until I met you because you would do all the self-care. You would do, like, the spa days, the facials. And I was like, oh, shit, girls do this? Like, I thought it was just, like, makeup and look cute. So, honestly, like, a lot of girls don't know.
Right.
You got to do a lot to maintain yourself, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of things you could take. Boric acid. There's, what was that pill that I told you? Probiotic pill? The vaginal.
The pink one?
Yes. That one is super expensive, but it's so worth it, you know?
It balances your pH.
Yes. Cranberry juice. You know, just, and also, too, when you're washing yourself, don't put soap over there or put soap in your vagina.
One thing I learned, because I wear a lot of thongs, you can get yeast infections.
Yes.
With thongs, unfortunately.
Yes. I had actually... before was getting a few UTIs. I'm like, why? And I'm telling my doctor, why the fuck do I keep getting UTIs? Like, I go to the bathroom when I need to go. Yeah. She's like, do you wear thongs? And I'm like, I do a lot. And she's like, you need to like slow off the thongs. And
it's definitely, because if you think about it, thongs are just really carrying your bacteria. You pee, use the bathroom, and it's just sitting there back in your fucking vagina.
Yeah. So it's either I'm not wearing a thong or I'm just not gonna wear no panties.
That's what I started to do now. Going to sleep, I just don't wear underwear.
I don't wear. Yes. Because I think about it, when you're like sleeping, you're like all that, like, I don't know. I feel like we sweat. I feel women.
Like I think of it as like a clogged pore. Like it's just sitting there, right? Like all that bacteria is just staying there, and it's like, please don't do that, y'all.
But you know, also too, going with what Elodie said, like she'd never met anybody to like teach her how to. Well, not just her, but like
it's really
spa
true.
days. But let's just talk about self-love, because I think everybody's like, do self-love, like it's spa, like do a face mask, drink tea, but that's not self-love. You know,
no, that's self-care.
Yes, there's a difference. And I feel like learning self-love is kind of just saying no, you know, learning how to say no, setting boundaries, and putting yourself first. You know, that's the difference between self-care and self-love. And I'm 27 years old. I feel like I just learned more about self-love this year, because I feel like I didn't give it to myself like when I was younger, because I was just always afraid to say no. I was always afraid to make somebody feel bad. And I'm kind of at the stage where, like,
I was gonna ask you, how did you realize you didn't have self-love, and how did you get to the point where you learned self-love?
I think I realized, the first question was
how did you realize you didn't have self-love?
I realized I didn't have self-love when I kept realizing I was always in the same position all the time. Like the universe would keep putting me in a position. It's just like, okay, what the fuck am I doing wrong? But it's just like, you're not loving yourself enough. That's the problem.
You were filling everyone else's cup, but
yours, and including with friends. I've been, and I don't mean to say like I've been through a lot of friends, but it kind of seems like I have a little bit, you know, but it just seems like I've always been taken for granted when it came to friends, you know? So it's just like, you know what? Instead of me just always trying to make a friend happy, I need to make myself happy. And if I can't make you happy, you need to go find better. Like, it's same with the relationship.
And I feel like you doing that showed you who your real friends are, because they no longer had that unlimited access to you.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Like, I've realized too, like, even younger in high school, like, I think I realized my power probably more 2 years ago of just knowing, like, when I stopped being friends with people, they would all try to, like, gang up. And it's just like...
Go against you?
Yeah, but you can't gang up on a bitch like me. No offense. You just can't. Because I've never been... I could walk in a room with 10 bitches that don't like me, and I don't care. I've always been so secure, but I've noticed that every single time I had a fallout...
It's a common thread.
Yeah, it was a common thing, and I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. So I think, you know, self-love now is kind of just like, I don't care if you're mad that I picked myself first. It doesn't bother me anymore.
That's good.
Yeah. So what about you?
I realized I lack self-love.
You think so now?
No. Hell no.
You know what I admire about you, sis? You're really good with boundaries.
I had to instill them.
You know not to give somebody too much. I love that about you.
Oh, thank you.
No, for real. Like, you're really good at that. Like, I seriously admire that. Because it's like, I feel like with me, I'm like always giving. And it's just like, bitch, stop giving so much. Give it to yourself.
And here's where I learned that, because you met me at such a young age. We were outside till dawn, you know, just being crusty, dusty little girls. And like, for me, I started to realize I lack self-love when I just wasn't motivated to do anything else but go out.
Oh, yeah.
Like, going out was like what I look forward to. And to me, like, now being older, I'm sorry, if that's the only thing I'm looking forward to, something's definitely wrong with me.
Yeah.
So I've learned to protect my yes by saying no a lot of these times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I had to instill those boundaries, not even more so for other people, but for myself.
Yeah.
Because I kept saying, like, yeah, I was out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And again, like, it just wasn't good for me. And I realized, when my mom moved to Florida and she's like, bye to me and my brother, I had $5,000 to my name, COVID money, by the way.
I know that's right.
Not really, because $5,000 is not that much. You know what I mean? So I had $5,000.
It's good enough at the age you were at, you know? How old were you? We were 20.
Yeah,
22,
I was
23.
like 23. I'm going to be so honest. I remember when I was working at Bevy that one weekend for All-Star Weekend. Girl, I made $1,000 that weekend. I was counting it like every day, like, oh my God, I have $1,000.
Yeah.
Like, I never made that much money in my life. And so when COVID came around and I started to get those like stimulus checks, I would save them. So I had $5,000 to my name.
Says you better than me, because I spend quick. She's taught me how to save money. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, one thing about me, I save my money. We can definitely get into that. But I had $5,000 to my name. My mom left to Florida. I was like, how am I gonna do this? I was living with my aunt, 23 years old with the curfew, girl. Remember those days?
Yeah.
My man at the time had to bring me home at 2 a.m. or it was done for, locked out.
Yeah, you were like that even with me. You're like, sis, I have to be home. I'm like, for real.
And I wasn't used to a curfew. Like, I'm telling you, I literally did my own shit being
That's crazy. You were on a curfew.
I was on a curfew.
Yeah.
And so my mom left. I was on a curfew. I was like, oh, I can't do this. I'm too grown. I need to figure it out. Got my own first apartment. And from there, that was a blessing in disguise. I invested in my apartment, $5,000 to my name, y'all. Literally no money. My aunt had to co-sign for me. Invested, and now I have over like $20,000 saved in a bank account. Yes, because I really just took that risk.
I know, that's right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's so good, because I feel like people look at you and they're just like, oh, you get it easy, you get shit handed to you. But it's just like, you've had to work your ass off to get where you're at right now, to be honest. And that's amazing, you know?
Thank you. Yeah, for both of us, I feel like nothing's really been handed to us.
Oh, yeah,
and
for sure.
every move that we make, it's because we back ourselves up. We can't say we have someone supporting us financially in the background, you know?
I feel like it was always hard for me to save money, because it was like I always had to, like, I was going through like my DUI, and then you know my dad went to prison, so I always had to help my parents. And not that I had to, no, I had to, but like I did have to, but I would feel wrong if I didn't. You know what I mean? So it was always hard. I feel like I didn't learn how to save money until I really did move to Chicago. And it was like when we were talking about what did you say, the high yield savings account. That's what I was just like, holy shit, what the fuck am I doing with my money just sitting in my savings account? When we had that conversation, that was amazing. I didn't know nothing about that. But
shout out my brother though, because he taught me, girl. I had my money in cash, stacked in cash for years in my house.
Same. Yeah.
And my brother's like, what are you doing? That's doing absolutely nothing for you. It's devaluing itself. You need to put that in a high yield savings account. Get something back for it.
Yeah.
Because in a Chase account, I only get 2 cents every month from saving money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like now that I have it in a high yield savings account, girl, last year I was given, just by having my money in an account, $1,000 free. Yeah. Free. Just on investments. So we can definitely, I want to bring someone, a financial advisor, someone to talk more about money.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I want to get into like, okay, so how do you know with, going back to friendship, how do you know with like, you're giving your friends too much?
When it's not coming naturally anymore.
Yeah.
When it's not coming out of love, when now it just feels like an obligation.
Feels forced.
And expected of me.
Yeah. That's a good one. I feel the same way too though. I feel like when you're starting to feel forced and it's just like, do you really fuck with me for real? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
I've had friends, I feel like we both have just expected certain things of us because we've given it before.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, babe. Like, I'm sorry. I know I did that before because I had nothing better to do. Now I'm busy. Now I'm booked. Now you have to respect my time. And if you can't respect my time and I can't respect your time, like, there's really no friendship.
We're older now. We're not 21. We're not 22 no more. Yeah. It's like, we all have different lives. We're all going through different shit. You know what I mean? And I try to give all my friends grace. And like,
you really do though. I feel like you've taught me to be a better friend.
Thank you, babe. Yeah, I really do try to give all my friends grace. But it just comes to a time where it's just like, I can't. Just give me some time, girl. I need to get myself together.
And like you said, you're the strong friend. You're the giving friend. And I feel like in order to be that friend, you have to fuel yourself up first.
Yeah.
So you need your space. You need Malia time.
Yeah. How do you feel like, as women, how do you protect your aura?
Oh, I'm still learning that. Especially with men. I know I consistently talk about that, but I really feel like women need to understand that unfortunately men can have a huge factor in our lives. Yeah. And we have to be very aware of that.
That's kind of why I say as women though too, because I feel like protect your aura with a girl and a guy, because like I feel like both parties could really like drain us.
Oh my God. So I think I started to discover that. I started to ask myself that question more recently, and I feel like I discovered the answer. I learned to protect my aura by understanding that any friendship or relationship that I have, if it's not getting me closer to God, it's no longer serving me.
Yeah.
If it's taking me away from God, that person's not meant to be in my life.
Yeah, sis, that's so real. And I love that you bring up God, because that's honestly so true. I also feel too like when I'm feeling like I have to dim my light a little bit,
Ooh,
yeah, it's just like, okay, I need to take a step back. Or like,
what do you mean by dimming your light? Like, what is that?
Like if I have a lot of things going on, like a lot of accomplishments, I just feel like sometimes other people may not be as excited for you, or they might just not even know that they're comparing themselves. Ooh, and it's just like, you know what I mean? And
do you almost feel like guilty sharing the information?
Yes, I do. Okay. Sometimes I do. And I feel like if I have to feel that way, then like I don't want to share anything, Yeah. And then I feel like a friendship might start to think like you're hiding things from me, or you're just not sharing what you used to share with me. But it's just like, I'm feeling the energy. Energy is so real. Energy is so strong.
Talk about it, because you're very big on energy.
Yeah, like my body, my discernment just knows when somebody's just being off. Like I'm really like in tune with myself.
You very are.
And it's just like, that's another thing, protecting your aura. When somebody tries to make you feel crazy, like, bitch, I know I ain't crazy, you being weird. With a guy or a girl, like guys too, they love to do that. But like, it's just like that too. When someone makes me feel like I'm like questioning myself, and I'm like, no, I know I'm not tripping. Like,
but here's the thing that I've learned about you, and I think that you've gotten to a good place where you know yourself so much, and like you're so secure within yourself that you're like, no, this is how I feel. Yeah. You validate yourself. You're not looking for any outside source to do that. And I think that's where self-love also came in for you.
Yeah, I feel that this time of year. It's crazy.
Know? Yeah. You stand on business, my sis. Yeah, you do.
I'm trying. It sucks staying on business sometimes, but it's just like, I feel like it doesn't suck nowadays. It doesn't. I don't feel guilty.
To protect yourself.
Yeah, I've came a long way, and I feel like I just had enough of just people playing with me, playing in my face, and it's just like I'm done. You know, it's just not giving me nothing. And then I think about it like, okay, so what if I didn't give my time and energy to these people? Like, where the fuck would I be? And that kind of disappoints me.
Ooh, you know? Like, had I not wasted so much time with this, I could have been doing this.
Yeah,
doing
I think
something better.
Anybody right now that it's like, you know, we're cutting ties, I don't feel like it's a loss for me, but it's a little disappointment. It's a little disappointing to know that, like, damn, I kind of like, with myself, like, I put so much energy into people. It's like a slap in the face, a reality check. Like, what I could do to do better for myself in the long run. Like, you know what I know where
you're coming from. So get back to what we were talking about.
Yeah, pretty much just protecting your aura and not dimming your light for nobody. If you feel like you have to dim your light for anybody, I just feel like move around, you know. Or maybe like communicate with the person.
I feel like though, because
but how many times can you communicate with a person?
And I guess right now, like maybe some of the people watching are having a hard time of letting go. They don't know how. And I feel like at with one friends. Point, with anybody.
Yeah.
At one point we were both in that position, and now we speak so easily on how to let go.
You're right.
You know what I mean? But how did we get there? Like, what put us through the mud?
Yeah.
To get us there?
Damn, I don't know, because I feel like some people could be better than me. It's so easy for other people to let go.
Girl, cutoff game is strong sometimes.
Yeah. But I really don't know, honestly. I guess just going through the same thing over and over again, like I said before, and it's just like, at one point, you just had enough, you know? Enough is enough.
Do you feel like, I think there's a correlation. You moving to Chicago, I think that's when you really started to get to know yourself and protect your aura. Do you feel like the investment of your environment changed?
Yes.
Your environment?
Yeah, because I feel like we live in a small town, especially coming from, you know, where I live, Kenosha, but like working in Waukegan, it's just everybody's very small-minded, you know, so it sucks because I don't want to say it's a bad thing, but it is though, and I don't think some people realize how
oh no, I've noticed it. Working at Ibiza, it's just what they know out there.
I know, and like that's kind of how I felt, you know. One of my friends would be like, girl, you drink every weekend, like you do the same thing every weekend, and I'm like, shut up. But then I think about it moving out here, I'm like, damn, she's right. Like there's so much more to life, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I just feel like when you're stuck in the same thing, you're stuck with the same people, you're stuck in that same mindset, and you're never going to move forward in life, you know? So yes, I think me moving to Chicago kind of did solidify like me to just know more, you know, and
to learn more,
be more open-minded. Yeah. So I would say that too. Maybe that's a reason what made me kind of like grow from other people, you know, a little bit. So I would say, you know, change your environment. But I always say if you're going to change your environment, you have to have a good mindset because...
Well, can I ask you, because obviously anyone that has you on social media, you made your move seem so easy.
Yeah, it was.
How uncomfortable was it to move here?
Super uncomfortable. And I think like, you know, there's still things that I'm learning. Like I just had like 2 business meetings with the studio that I'm working with, and it's just like learning new things is still a little uncomfortable for me, you know. It's kind of like a little scary, like but I had watched this podcast. It was pretty much just saying how like damn, what was she saying? It's kind of like you're always going to have a new beginning in life. You know, when you're getting out of high school, your new beginning is what? Going to college.
Yeah.
And then going to college, your new beginning is the real world. So it's just like, you got through all that. Why do you think that you can't get through this?
Oh, I love that.
That was a good one.
That was very good.
Yeah, that was, I'll share the podcast. I'll have Elodie put the name on it, but it was really, really good. And because it was at one point where I was just like, I always tell Elodie, am I scared of my own success? Like my own potential? Like there's times where
That's a real thing. For sure.
Yeah. I don't think I get depressed, but I get in these like little moods where I get stuck. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to do this. And it's just like, why? Just get the fuck up and go. Like, you know you could do it. What are you scared of?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. It's just sometimes we get in those moods where you're like self-doubting yourself.
I just saw someone on Instagram post. I can't remember who posted it, but she was asked like, how did you get to where you were? Were you scared? And she's like, of course I'm scared, but I'm more scared of going back to who I used to be.
And that's real. Yeah.
So real. So it's like, it's scary to think that you can become so successful, but it's even scarier to stay where you've been at for years. I think that's my biggest fear.
And what I could say, what helped me throughout this whole year, I've been here for a year. So starting little habits, like I didn't just shoot, like get in the studio. I lived here for almost a year. In September, I didn't get into my studio till the next year in April. I had to start little habits with myself to even know what I want. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, I'm going to get up early. That didn't help me every day. Like I was like, I'm going to be a 5 a.m. girly. I was getting up at like 8 o'clock. And then it just took me like maybe 2 weeks to get stuck on those same habits. You know, you just have to start slow, even with the gym. That's a big investment with ourselves, you guys. I don't go to the gym because I want to go weight. I go to the gym because it's good for my mindset, you know?
Yeah, I think it's just more physical. It's more than just being physically active. I think it's more mentally. Like you actually release endorphins and serotonin when you're running and working out, that it's actually like in a more scientific way, it's changing your mind by itself. You know what I mean?
That's true. You could just go to the gym and I promise you won't leave disappointed.
Yeah.
Like just go.
The hardest part is just getting there, honestly. Yeah.
Just getting your, big ass up and going. Cause I'd be like, bitch, get your big ass up and go. I'll be tired too. So,
that's amazing. I feel like too, I don't think either of us rely on alcohol to get through our problems or like going
not
out
anymore.
No, right?
And even if we're like doing something, we're like kind of good to like catch ourselves. Like, okay, like even right now, like I know like I can't drink right now because I'm just like dealing with what I'm going through, and I just feel like it will put me in a position where I might be a little mean, it might be a little bit more aggressive than what I am.
Your energy's just not there right now, and that's fair.
Yeah,
but that's something you had to learn within yourself.
Yeah, right, exactly. But shit like that pisses me off because it's like, why the fuck is my energy changing with people that I'm the closest to? Like it's just kind of like, it's a little irritating, but it is what it is. It's life, right?
It is life, and I think that what you said earlier about like doors keep opening after college. It's the real world after the real world. It's like I think that's just the cycle of life. And I'm reading this book. It's called what is it called? The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Sis, the way that it's showing me how toxic consistently being positive is so real. Yeah. Because we're so consistently like looking for the next adrenaline, next high, like, oh, I accomplished this, let me accomplish this, let me do this, but what about just being still? Yeah. Like, why can't we just sit in our own accomplishments for a second and take it in?
Sis, seriously, like we always talk about how we're so hard on ourselves. I remember 2 years ago, I'm like, I can't wait to move to Chicago. I will never be mad when I'm living in Chicago. Girl, you're living your dream. Like, this may not be a big dream for everybody, but it's a big dream for me, Oh my God, so it's like, just focus on now, be happy for now. Like, it's, you're alive.
Yeah. And I think one thing that another thing that we've invested so much in is our knowledge. Yeah. We've both been reading books, whether it's Audible, whether it's in person, podcasts.
Going to events, networking with different people. Yes. Like even yesterday, that was just like feeding my soul. Like stuff like that was just so cool to me. I love that. We used to wake up so hungover on Mondays. We're in a fucking learning business strategies.
Yeah. And it's important to have friends. I think for me, it's just, I'm very inaccessible to a lot of people because I see how they move and it doesn't resonate to how I move and how I want to move. So I think it's really important to have friends that are joining you on your journey and want more for themselves too. Yep. Because you didn't have to come with me yesterday. I don't have to go to things with you either. But we choose to do that for our own personal growth and for the growth of our business, our podcast.
Yeah, there's a question that you did ask. It was, are the people you surround yourself an investment to your journey? An investment
to your journey. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's real. And it's so real because I think if you have a friend who's not on the same page as you, it's not going to really work out. Or you just have to learn to love people from a distance and not even in a harsh way, But
I also think categorizing people in your life has become so important. In my late 20s, I've learned who are my party friends, who are my friends I can do business with, who are my friends I can go to when I'm vulnerable, who are my friends that I can lean on for advice in my business. Yeah. So it's just really important to have those categories because not everyone is your friend for everything.
Yeah. Like even what's specifically like things that I go through, which is like in my studio or just like my next move, I wouldn't ask a friend who doesn't have a business like what I should do. Like, you know, I can't do that. You don't even know where I'm like.
You're not in the same phase in life.
Yeah.
She's not in your shoes. You're not in her shoes.
And it's not a bad thing, but it's just, you know, like she said, categorizing your friends. That's real. That's really real.
For sure. Let's see.
Yeah, you had a lot of good questions on here. Right here. Can your choices be determined to your growth, and it doesn't matter how big or how small?
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's even with friendships.
Yeah. So I guess what I meant by that question is like, even the choice of today, getting up. We chose to film a morning podcast. We
8
woke
o'clock.
We woke up at 8. Our choice of
you woke up earlier.
Yeah. Well, 7:30, I texted you. We woke up early to get this done, right? One of us or both of us could have said, I'm sleeping in. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm congested.
Yeah.
I'm sore.
I don't feel good today, sis. Yeah.
Let's do this another day. But our choice to both show up and be here is what's going to make us get one step closer to our goal.
Yeah. Even the guy yesterday was saying how he didn't see money during his podcast for 2 years. And that's just real. We don't get paid to do this.
No.
This is just like something that we love to do. And I think the best thing about life is you have to find something you love. Yeah. So it doesn't feel like a job, you know, because this does not feel like a job to me.
No, I think that I think this is just so healing for us.
Yeah.
And I think that we really are able to speak our truth because we both have so much wisdom that we want to share with you guys. And, you know,
even like you said, the choices you do make, even with us going to the event yesterday, that was a big choice for us.
Yeah.
You know, and that's going to help us in the long run. Like you said, we didn't have to go. So
I think about how we're both entrepreneurs and how we both have to push to the next level because no one is holding us accountable.
Yeah.
And I always like to tell this to my friends, anyone that's looking to get in the entrepreneur industry, you either sink or swim with this industry.
Yeah. You just have to be ready. You have to be ready to lose and win, honestly.
Yes, because a lot of people think like
it's easy
or we're making so much money and we live such a lavish lifestyle. Like for me, at least being a realtor, I've had a lot of people say, oh, you probably make so much money. I'm like, you know what, the money that I do make, I know how to save, but that doesn't mean I'm making a lot of money. I know how to manage my money.
Even with me, people be like, big baller, like, do you know how many bills I got? Right. Like, yeah, but like I work for my money, but I still invest in a lot of shit that I have to do.
Really
I don't have to pay for my studio, but I choose to do that because it's an investment for me. You know what I mean? You know, it's so crazy. I was working bottle service this weekend, and somebody was like, just pretty much praising us and just saying how proud they are. And they're like, I love that you guys started this podcast because I feel like it's a different side of people. Like, I feel like people think that you guys gave up your coochie to get where you're at. I'm like, do y'all really think that?
We would have been driving Lambos at this point.
Coochie too good to be giving it up.
Dude, but it's like, I mean, did we have opportunities?
Hell of course. Yeah, but I think it doesn't matter how old we are. We always been very knowledgeable to know that shit is just not going to get you nowhere.
And I don't care how crazy we used to seem. We've always been 10 toes down. Like,
and first of all, I'm shy as fuck.
Yeah, we bark, we don't bite. I've been telling everybody that.
I'm the type of girl that like when he be texting me and I be texting back, I'm sitting at the end of the bed. So what we doing? Oh, we're not gonna Netflix and shit? Oh, I gotta go. Right. Like, what? You're crazy. Like, that's crazy. No. When she had said that, I'm like, give up that coochie. I mean, maybe a couple times now. But like, what?
Yo, it's just but I love hearing those narratives of us.
Keep thinking that.
I love it. Period. Though.
I know y'all. I love that y'all think this coochie too fine.
And like when they see us doing shit like this, it's like, damn, these girls are actually not dumb. Like they got really much more to them than their looks and what they post on social media.
Right, exactly. Even with that guy yesterday when he was like, "I don't follow you," I'm like, what? Why you don't follow my friend? And he just had a perspective of Elodie, and it's just so crazy to me. Like, now you're inviting her to this thing, which is amazing how it all turned out. Yeah. But it's just like the way these people just think. Social media is just so lame.
A crazy world.
Yeah.
I had this guy text me actually this week, and he's like, I'm becoming more obsessed with you because of what you're posting on social media. And I'm just like,
I love that.
Sis, look at my face. I was like, like social media is such a crazy world. Like I wonder how they used to do it back then when they had to talk via mail.
But you know what though? I love that you're becoming more transparent, and I think that's what people are seeing, because I think one thing for sure, I've always been I think my following comes from me just being so honest, to be honest. I don't even think it has a lot to do with makeup or anything, if I'm going to be real. I think it's because I've always just been real. I've always showed the bad, the good. I've never really cared. I'll show when I got a shit. It's just stuff like that I just do.
That's so true.
You know what I mean?
So on Snap.
Man, don't follow me on Snap. But I think that you're now showing the real Elodie on social media. You know, I feel like it would always used to just be picture perfect, and you know, and that's not a bad thing, because who the fuck are they to you don't have to show people stuff, but like
it's
you're
just unrelatable.
It's
unrelatable when someone's picture perfect. You just can't assume that they've been through shit. You know?
Yeah, right. So I think that's where people are coming from. Exactly. They can relate to you more, and it's just like, oh wow, she's us. Like duh, stupid. And that's honestly what made me and you so close though. Yeah. Because like even with working at Ibiza, they would be like, she's mean or she's this, and I'm just like, no, she's not. You guys just don't know her. We're at work. What the fuck do you want her to do? Cartwheels back and forth? Like, the fuck? But it's like, you know what I mean? Like I just learned to love you because you always been like, we're the same. Someone was just saying you and Elodie are just like, but very different. Like you guys are very both strong heads and just like are just shooting for destiny, like just ready to go. And she's like, but I could just tell you guys are very different. I'm like, yeah, Elodie's more like soft, conservative, and I'm just like the loud and like, you know what I mean? But we do have our phases though. Sometimes it will switch, you know?
Yes.
But yeah, I love that.
Can I ask you a question? Like,
ask me, sis.
So above all, like everything that you've done, everything you've invested, your work, your hygiene, your energy, self-love, I think all of that had to do with essentially like accepting yourself first.
Yes.
So how did Malia begin to accept yourself? Because I know there was a time in your life that you didn't.
Ooh, I would have to just say, Amor, do not open that. You're going to drop my mirror. Sorry, our guest here is just acting a little disobedient over there. Damn, I don't know. I do know, but I don't know.
Do you feel like it had to do with like getting closer to God?
That, but I wouldn't say that. I would just have to say just doing it, I guess. I don't know.
Because you've always been such a very strong-minded. Here comes our guest.
Come here, guest. Amor, skis. Oh my goodness, come here. Amor, you've been through the trenches with me. How did I get there? Come here. Damn, sis. Honestly, I would have to just say, you know what it is? I do know.
You know.
I always known, like, when I look good, I feel good.
Okay.
So doing a lot of those things made me feel good in the outside world. Even though just like the little self-care, going to the gym, that made my confidence like feel so good. Maura has a big back. But yeah, I would say that when I look good, when I feel good, I look good. So like I did all of that stuff because like it just made me feel good.
But can I ask you, like, so a lot of people think maybe self-love has to do with how you look, but I think it's more so how you feel on the inside.
In the inside,
yourself,
yeah. Girl, I could go to the gym and do 30 minutes on the Stairmaster, and that's not going to do shit for my body, but it's going to help my confidence in the outside when I go out. Okay. You know, I'm going to
feel like isolation.
Yeah.
It kind of helped you?
Yeah, that too. But there's people who isolate themselves and go in a huge depression, you know? So it's kind of hard to say that.
Yeah.
Like me with isolation, there was a time where I went in a huge depression. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't, sis, like I didn't even want to get my nails done, my toes. I didn't want to do none of that. I was just saying, you just have to just get up one day and just do it, you know? Yeah. And finding people who remind you of who you are. You know, surrounding yourself with people to just remind you and like, what are you doing? Like, do you know who you are? You have to have those people. Surround yourself with people who love you. Like, I can't stop saying that, you know? So I would have to say, that. Just surrounding yourself.
That brings me back to a point that you actually told me you had a conversation with Samson last week. I think it was in terms to like something going on in your life, and he's like, Malia has come a long way, but don't forget how old Malia brought her here.
Yeah, I think I'm too hard on myself with old Malia, and I don't even want to keep saying old Malia because it's like I'm trying to accept the new me because I don't know who the new me is. You know, I do, but it's just like I do know who I am, but it's learning me still. You know, I'm still learning myself, and like I know
growth is never ending.
Yeah, like I'm learning how to like. Okay, not react on situations that I used to react on, you know, like learning that self-control more. But yeah, when I had vented to my friend Samson, I had like a really rough week and I was crying to him. Y'all know I'm a fucking crybaby. And he was just like, you know, don't forget who Malia is, you know, like you were also still so strong. Like old Malia brought this Malia, you know, so like love yourself a little bit more with that. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I be too hard on myself sometimes. Or I think the hardest thing for me is like I'm learning to like shut up, and it's like I'm shutting up a little too much now.
Okay.
Where I'm just like not knowing how to have those uncomfortable conversations with the people I used to have that with. You know, so I would say that.
Do you think that you're just a little more mindful now? Because,
yes.
Yeah, because I don't think you just shut up. I think you're just a little more self-aware that you realize not everything needs a reaction. Yeah. But maybe when you do tend to react, you're like, I should have spoke up sooner.
I think it's just being a little bit too compassionate for other people's feelings.
Okay.
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes when I'm like that, it's just like I'm not learning to like
set those boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah. It brings me back to that old Malia, like not knowing when to set the boundaries because I'm having too much compassion. But,
right.
But, you know, we're learning, growing.
Yeah. And I think it's just also about maintaining your peace.
Yeah.
That has to always be like that root of everything.
Yeah.
Before it gets too bad, you know, with other people and just things like that. But, yeah.
That was a good conversation.
I know.
I love self-care, self-investments of just anything in life. You know, what else did we have on here that we can bring up one more time? God?
Ooh, I like this one. How does one determine their own value, and should that be reliant on someone else's validation to that value?
Absolutely the fuck not.
Why?
Because you shouldn't need somebody's validation to know your value.
It's so easy to say that though. Like because for me, I struggled with my own self-value for many years. And I think I'm starting to get to a point where I know who I am.
Yeah.
And I have people like you reminding me of who I am, because I still have those moments where I question myself. And so like, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I do seek others' validation to my value. And that's a little depressing. So it's easier to say that, but I kind of go into that. How did you get to that point of not needing someone else's validation to your value?
I think when you already just go have the mindset of just not caring and not giving a fuck what people say, people already are like, I feel like people are already so quick to just see your triggers and see what you're caring about, and then they like observe that, and then you give them that that power to pull from you. So when you're already going in knowing who the fuck you are, that was kind of like my manipulative thing to do to people, like going in strong, like you can't take shit from me. So I feel like that's why people have the like respect, I guess, for me. Does that make sense?
To an extent. I get where you're coming from, but I feel like for me it's just so different for everybody, because you are so like, this is me, this is who I am. For me, I'm like,
people judge you and they're like, well, no, because I feel like when you do go strong head, people are kind of like, she thinks like how, you know,
she thinks she's the shit.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? It's never like, oh, she's a good person. So that's why I've learned to just be myself. But being myself now has gotten me in situations that I feel like people don't value me and people don't see that value. And I'm just like one, I've learned not to try to convince them of that, because I used to be a huge convincer, like, please see this version of me. Now I've learned to just sit with my feelings.
You know what? That is true, because I remember being in a relationship, I was seeking his validation, you know, but I think that we just have to know, we know already. Why the fuck are we seeking validation from people who don't seek it from themselves?
Facts. Who aren't happy with themselves. Yeah, that's true. I feel like most people that don't value you, it's because they don't value themselves.
Yeah, and so I think we're just airheads when it comes to stuff like that as women. We're just like, I'm blind. What's that song called?
I can't see, I'm blind.
Like, that's literally what it is. Like, you could see, like, he don't value himself. She don't value herself. So why are we seeking that validation from people who don't value themselves, you know? I think it's just like we say, surrounding yourself with people who do, you know? those people are just not for you.
Yeah. No, yeah. And I think in terms of like going back to how we invest so much into ourselves in order to provide that compassion and that love and that care for others.
Yeah.
It all started because I used to be so bitter, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I was a bitter bitch. I was mean. I was passive aggressive to really.
Why do you think you were like that?
Because I wasn't happy with myself, sis. I wasn't at a point in my life where I knew who Elodie was. I was vicious, okay? I was this vicious little girl, just doing too much. But I looking at that now, I really lacked a lot of self-awareness, self-love, and just God. Like, I think God, and I heard this in church actually, and I told you, God fuels us to fill us to be able to give back to his people because we're all God's children.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so like now I just started to see everyone as God's child, and everyone has a purpose, and everyone needs some, you know, type of love or attention, or they are in need of something. So why can't we provide that to each other?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If I have that within myself, I want to give that to someone else.
Yeah. That's real.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks when we get in those moods though, when like we're in a relationship and like we act beat.
It does suck, but it's so, looking back at it now, it's so eye-opening, and I'm not regretful of that relationship.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that I was in it and I got out of it, because I swear to God, sis, I told myself when I'm done with this man, I will never allow someone to treat me this way again. I will never let myself be this down bad again.
Why do you think we stay?
Lack of everything we just talked about. Lack of work, lack of hygiene, lack of energy, lack of self-love, lack of your self-acceptance of God.
Yep.
Lacking in all of those areas will keep you in that same position.
Yeah.
Because you have nothing else to give.
Yeah, that's real. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy how we act when we get in relationships with a man that's just so like not good for us, and then we just change. I think once we like start to change, that's when you should just walk the fuck away. But it's so hard.
It is so hard because you start.
But it's
your mind
not
plays
hard
games
when you install all this into you. I'm gonna tell you that, you know.
Yes.
Because it's so easy for me to walk away. Like I could be in a relationship today, tomorrow, but the fuck no.
Yeah.
I know you're not good for me, and I need to go elsewhere. Bye.
Yes. You have too much to lose now.
Yes.
And I think that's why we chose this episode for the 6th, because it's just so important for our girls, guys, gays to know how important it is to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And that'll give the projection in the world of who you are.
And it doesn't matter what age, from being 18 to fucking 40 to fucking 50. Taking care of yourself first is just going to put you in a better place in your life, a better mindset. You're going to want better. You're going to know better. Like, that's it. That's all. Literally. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
I love that.
Seriously, because it's just like, I wish people would understand that a little bit more. Like, you know, like, take care of yourself. Fuck him, fuck her, fuck everybody. Fuck your mama, fuck your daddy. Take care of you. Like, for real, take care of you.
At the end of the day, we came out this world alone, we're gonna die alone. So just really focus on your purpose.
Take care of you, but also have a good heart, you know, while you're taking care of yourself, you know.
Yeah, and I think taking care of yourself will provide you with that outlet of having a good heart.
Yeah, giving what you can. Not giving too much.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. This is a good one. I like this one.
Me too.
Is there anything else you want to add on for this episode?
No, I don't think so. This was a really good topic. I hope you guys loved it. And obviously, you know, even if we miss on things, we're going to have more episodes where it will come to us more. Yeah. I'm a little congested right now, so I can't even think right now. And I'm sweating bullets. Dude, sis.
Because you drank that tea.
Sis, it's like showering over here.
Okay.
Literally, I feel like in the sauna. But
my sis needs to get some rest.
Look at Amar just sitting here. This is how I felt today. Literally. But thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. We're super excited for the next 2 podcasts coming up. We have somebody special coming. I don't want to give too much tease, but I love him. He's definitely somebody that's going to help you guys all. He's helped me just change my mindset and pick up on better habits. So I can't wait for him to come on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
I'm a little nervous for him though.
Sis, being uncomfortable is going to make us grow. I feel like he's definitely going to make us uncomfortable.
This next one might make us a little uncomfortable, y'all. Yes. So if you're like, why the fuck are they acting like that? It's because this one is a strong one. So
yes.
Yeah.
I'm so open to this though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we've been saying yes to many more opportunities, and it's just landing us,
I know,
just better vibrations and energy and like knowledge. So I feel like he's going to be a good person to kind of take us to the next level.
Set us both straight. because we need that a little bit.
You think so?
Hell yeah. That's a mentor. You need somebody who's always going to be on your toes, set you straight, tell you how it is.
Yeah.
But also tell you how it is, but in the most graceful, respectful way. That's going to help you in the long run, you know?
Yeah. And I love that we're ending it with that, because that's just going to show you guys how we're surrounding ourselves with people that are possibly doing better than us to push us, and how important it is to have those type of people in your circle.
Yeah.
Because you are who you surround yourself with. What is that saying? The 5 people that you surround yourself with are most likely the people you're going to end up being like.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Shit, admire the people who are better than you. If you're the smartest one
learn from them.
What did Nipsey say? I don't want to be the smartest one in the room. I want to be the dumbest. And that's so fucking real. Like, I feel like this year, that's all I'm like, the dumbest bitch in the fucking room. Like, yeah, let me learn from all y'all. Like, let me milk the shit in, because I need to know this. You know what I mean? It's going to help you in the long run. So, just, yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, this is episode 6. We love you guys. Comment down below what was your favorite portion of this video.
Yes.
Give us some feedback, and we will see you on the next one.
Love you guys.
Bye.
That was cute.
That was good.
That was really good.